Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week, and we've got over 1,500 of these available. This is kind of a two-part healing series. What are some signs that you're emotionally healing? If you are dealing with trauma recovery, would love to be of assistance to you. I've worked in that field for 15 years now. And I believe that anyone can heal. Few people do because they hold themselves back, but healing is available for everyone from an emotional perspective. So, what are some things that you can do? And also reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of the YouTube page. Either one will get you in touch with me or a member of my team. We can go from there. First things first. Uh, you allow yourself to feel all emotions. Emotions are indicators. They are not the definition of your self identity, and that's where people get tripped up a lot of the time. It doesn't mean not to feel, and it also doesn't mean not to experience all things. That means you could have dark moments of the soul, metaphorically speaking. You could have pieces of your life where you just don't want to deal with something, or you're overwhelmed with something, or you're constantly stressed out by something. That's normal if you've gone through trauma. Now, acting upon those things is certainly something that you don't always want to do, certainly if there's going to be legal or emotional consequences or hurt brought to other people. So learning how to separate feeling from the need to act is an essential part of successfully navigating the healing process. The next thing is to begin to express the feelings that you have. Expression doesn't mean holding other people accountable for what you're going through. It also doesn't mean that anyone else or anyone has to have any degree of answer as it relates to why you went through what you went through, how you should cope with it, or what you should do next. But understanding how to have boundaries within yourself about what you can handle and also what you're willing to talk about. Everybody comes to a place of acceptance that ultimately their boundaries determine their quality of life and their success in life. That just basically means that you have to have boundaries to be able to understand, look, just because something happened to me doesn't mean that I have to talk about it. It also doesn't mean that my history is my destiny. It also doesn't mean that I have to be a certain way because of these things I've gone through. You must have a way to find the acceptance that what you went through is not the definition of your identity. This is where people get most drift up. Certainly, as an abuse survivor who had to separate from my biological family because of the abuse, it took me a long time to realize, hey, wait, I need to look at the world differently because the people that should have protected me by the world standards didn't. What do I do with that? How do I cope with that? Where do I go with that? And the healing journey, if you've been through abuse, if you've been through loss, if you've been through unexpected death, if you've been through bullying or disability or anything, there are lots of things that ultimately you have to deal with. But acceptance doesn't mean that you agree with what happened to you. It also doesn't mean that you're happy about what happened to you. It just means that you cannot change what's already happened, but you can change how you react to it, how you respond to it. Your reactions and responses are the one thing in life that you have control over at all times, no matter what is going on. And when you begin to understand that you have that control, when you begin to understand that you are within line of that control, you then are really reactivating your power, reactivating what is good for you, and reactivating what matters most for you as a person. So, understanding how to do that. And then the last thing in this particular deal is how you respond is the most important thing. Once you accept that this thing has happened to me, no matter how uncomfortable it is, the next thing you have to do is go, what am I going to do with it? What do I want to do with it? What does it mean for me? Relanguaging the meaning of a traumatic experience can be extremely challenging because it's one of those things where you begin to understand the value of knowing what it is that you go through on a daily basis isn't the definition of your identity. And you can either view yourself as a victim or a victor. You can view yourself as a person who has overcome things or who is continuing to struggle. When you begin to see yourself in the way of someone who is continually overcoming, you will then also continue to do the same. And so that becomes extremely valuable in how you see the world around you and for the purposes of what you're trying to accomplish. So hopefully this is helpful and I continue to be valuable in that way. hopefully this is beneficial for your benefit and keeping things going in a good and useful manner. So hopefully, if I can be of help, please feel free to reach out. Take time again. Remember, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.